welcome to the video. Today we're going to be discussing deck strategies for playing Master Duel. Now, for this video, I'm basically going to discuss what I would do in terms of decks. For me personally, right, I like to do strategies that focus more or less on a certain archetype. And sometimes you gotta supplement cards, right? So today's deck discussion is going to be Infernobles. Now for me, what works personally is basically keeping duplicates of certain cards while also keeping one copy of certain cards. So usually I put 3 Roland in, basically for that quick effect specifically, and as well as adding Fire Warriors from my or equip spells from my deck to hand during that phase to basically supplement my hand and increase the size, as well as allowing me to draw cards that I need. I keep 2 copies of Ogier, basically, to get Immortal Phoenix Gearfried or a Noble Arms spell card in the graveyard to summon Gearfried. 3 copies of Renaud, basically, to get that special summon, as well as add Gearfried from the graveyard if I've already sent him to the graveyard with Ogier. Then I also put in 2 copies of Ricciardetto. I don't know how to say that. Ricciardetto. And basically that's just for the special summon on either of its effects. Next up, I include 3 copies of Turpin for the special summon as well as the equip. In the deck I also include 1 copy of Oliver, since he's not really all that necessary for the deck, but he is a good level 4 tuner if you're going to do something like that. I also include 1 copy of Maugis as a way to keep the deck from going overboard. Now, for Astolfo, I only keep 1 copy of them in the deck. And this is mainly because these 3 cards, this card, Oliver, Maugis, and Astolfo aren't exactly necessary for multiple copies. But if you want to play it safe, you can play 2 copies of Oliver as a way to supplement that, and as well as send Fire Warriors and equip spells to the grave. Now, on the term of important spells, 3 copies of Noble Arms Mueseum, basically, so you can have that attack boost as well as that card adding effect, as well as the special summons. 1 copy of Hauteclere, so that you can basically use it for that double attack, but it's not really necessary. 3 copies of Durendal, basically to get that adding effect, but if it's sent to the graveyard because the equipped card is sent to the graveyard, you can use that to add level 5 or lower warrior. Then I would say 1 copy of Joyous as a way to supplement that. Next, in the deck I would have maybe 1 copy of the Continuing Epic of Emperor Charles, and for the extra deck Noble Knights, 0 copies of Captain Oliver, because at the end of the day he's not truly necessary to the strategy. But in the extra deck I would put 2 copies of Angelica, 2 copies of Emperor Charles, 2 copies of Charles the Great, and 3 copies of Roland. Now the reason I'm doing this is because basically Angelica can get you the tuner of Roland, as well as help you supplement the strategy of getting Emperor Charles out, which also synergizes with Noble Arms Mueseum, since you can basically equip Ogier or one of the level 4 non-tuners to Roland to special summon that equip card. And then with Emperor Charles, you could basically summon him by equipping Roland from the graveyard to Emperor Charles. And next up is the most important part, actually. And I know this is going to be a bit of a controversial pick, but a card I would add to the deck is 2 copies of Heritage of the Chalice. And I know normally people add 3 of these copies, but basically this is to supplement other strategies. Next up, I would suggest adding 1 copy of Clarent, because even if it's a attack only card, it still is useful. I would also add, where is it? I would add 1 copy of Caliburn to the deck. Now, usually I would add this basically to just supplement that equip spell strategy. Also, 3 copies of Olifant to basically supplement that Roland strategy, as well as like just destruction in general. Next, what I would add is a single copy of Immortal Phoenix Gearfried, because this card basically is useful for like just a negate in general. And speaking of negates, I would include 2 copies of Ash Blossom. Lastly, we need 1 special card. It's a Therion. We need a copy of Therion Bull-Ein to basically supplement that. And also what I would include in the deck is 2 copies of Evenly Matched as a way to promote that strategy. And then for posterity's sake, I would say add a copy, well, 2 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Now, for the rest of the extra deck supplementation, when you're using this deck, I would suggest 1 copy of Isolde as a way to basically to get those special summons and cards added to your hand, as well as just gain equip spells in the graveyard for adding to your hand. Next up, I would then also recommend Promethean Fireblow. Promethean Princess, so that you could basically get that special summon of fire monsters from the graveyard. And next up on the list, and the thing is, what we usually do with links and synchros, right, is we want to keep them within the theme, but also to basically have a better chance of winning. And so the cards I would add are level 9s and level 5s to the deck to basically supplement that strategy. And also, if you want to be a little risque, you could add a level 8 synchro. The one I would recommend is Borreload Savage Dragon. Even if he's not Fire Warrior, he still works, as well as Baronne de Fleur, because you could basically tune it with the level 9 and level 1 to get him. And lastly, what we need is Ferocious Flame Swordsman. Now, Ferocious Flame Swordsman is useful for the warriors things, but also he allows you to special summon a non-link warrior from the graveyard, but banish it when it leaves the field, so that's the only downside there. But all these cards basically supplement the strategy. Lastly, 1 more card I would add to the deck, just for the sake of some sort of consistency, is Trishula. Now, with that out of the way, we got the Infernoble Knight deck, and we are going to try to win a duel with this, so that I can show my strategies in action. So, we go into solo mode, I would say, right? And let's go in the Boojin thing, so that we can basically just start off with this. So, I'm going to go to the duel, and I'm going to switch my deck, so that, well, we can have it. Now I just made this. There we go. This is an updated copy of my Infernoble Knights. So let's play the game. And I'll go first, just to like show how the strategy works. It's connecting. Alright, now we can start. So, we actually got the perfect hand here. I will summon Ogier and activate its effect, sending Immortal Phoenix Gearfried to the graveyard, so that we have him at least on the field. Next, we'll special summon Renaud, So we have that on the field. And then we'll use Renaud's effect to basically add Gearfried to my hand. Next, we will activate the effect of Artifact Durendal to equip it to Ogier. And then we'll activate Durendal's effect to add from my deck to hand a level 5 or lower warrior. So the card we're going to add is Turpin. Next, we will activate the effect of Astolfo to banish Maugis from our hand. Special summon Astolfo. And yes, we'll change the level. Next, we're going to use 2 monsters to link summon. So we'll use Astolfo and Ogier to link summon. And its effect will add Roland from our deck to our hand, okay? Next, what we'll do is activate Isolde's effect, sending 4 equip spells from the deck to the graveyard. To then special summon a copy of Turpin. Since this doesn't count as a special summon, we basically are fine. And then special summon. So let's use Princess Angelica for this. Next, Angelica's effect. Let's add Horn of Olifant to the hand, or you know what, better yet, Noble Arms Museum. Because now we can use that special summon ability. And let's activate its effect to add from our deck to our hand a Noble Arms spell card. Let's add Durendal again and activate subsequently Durendal's effect. And then we'll target Angelica. Angelica's effect activates. Basically, she'll be banished till the end of the turn, but we get a Roland. So either way, it's a win-win. Let's send Roland to the graveyard, and then special summon Captain Roland. Next, we're going to banish an equip spell from the graveyard to activate Gearfried's effect and special summon him. And lastly, over here, we're going to special summon Oliver. Then we're going to subsequently activate the effect of Noble Arms Museum, special summon Ogier to the field. And then we're going to special summon from the extra deck Charles. Next, so that's the thing with this deck, it's basically like this for a reason. Now, we're going to equip Turpin from the graveyard to Charles. And we're also going to equip to Gearfried, Roland. Now, normally with Roland you would equip him later on, but I want to basically use his effect twice in the use him for 2 things in the next turn. Now, we're going to then use Charles to special summon from the extra deck. You know, Emperor Charles the Great. Emperor Charles' effect. We basically can equip Charles to him. And now, with that, we can end our turn. And the effect of Charles will activate, equipping an equip card to him. So we equip Durendal, as well as a copy of Ogier. Then we can also special summon Angelica, and if need be, we can basically use her for later. Now, with Bujin, they special summon a lot, so... Okay, and we are going to not negate that. trust me, there's a reason for that. Boojin Lightsworn. Okay. We're gonna negate that there. By destroying an equip card. We'll destroy Durendal so we can add a level 4, well, level 5 or lower warrior to the hand. Okay. Now, here's where things get interesting. We're gonna basically... Yep, now we can battle. So I'm gonna activate Roland's effect to equip him to Charles. And then we're gonna destroy a monster. Now we're good to do an OTK strategy. We don't even need to activate his effect. So that's basically how you play the deck. Use the negates that you got. And now we're going to attack directly for game. And that, my friends, is how you play Infernoble Knights with a bit of supplementary engines. And I hope to see you all in the next video, but for now, we're going to just end the video. So remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more of this content, and I'll see you all in the next video.